Hey guys, Dr. Derry here, owner of Vision Health Services down here in Jacksonville, Florida. And I want to talk about why you started having sciatica and how sciatica starts. Two big topics that I often get asked. So let's get started. So we're still talking about sciatica, and why you started having sciatica varies person to person. So sometimes, not a lot. Sometimes it's due to an incident. So the most common I see is people bend over, they go to generate some strength, picking up their kid, working, et cetera, and they have a sharp pull in their back, and then they have a sudden increase or a beginning of some pain and down their leg, in the back of their leg into their buttock. That is very normal. And so the actual cause of the sciatica is hard to determine without a physical exam. But if you're younger and you did something to cause your pain, it may be related to disc, it may be related to butt muscles, it may be related to just spasming in your back. But the cause of sciatica, sometimes it's incidental, sometimes it happens over time. And so in my older adults that I treat, and they're like, hey, over time, I started having pain down on my leg when I walked long distances. Well, that's kind of sciatica still, but it's caused a very different reason from a younger person doing something and causing their pain. Or heck, you may do nothing at all and you start to develop sciatica. So it's not your fault, but sometimes that's how it starts. So how did sciatica start? Well, nerves need three things. Sciatic nerve is a big nerve that comes from your back into your buttock, and it can start for multiple reasons. And why it happened, we already covered, right? So how it starts is that you have some sort of space issue around the nerve. You have some sort of movement issue around the nerve. So the nerve can't move like it should. Or there's a blood flow issue. So when it can't move as well, it doesn't get a lot of blood flow anyways. And so when you decrease the blood flow more, it's more bothersome. So it's more sensitive, and you're really dealing with the sensitivity around the nerve. And if you want to get technical, it's not the actual mechanical pressure on the nerve, it's the inflammatory response that happens afterwards. And so that's why anti-inflammatories tend to work fairly well. And that's why movement tends to work fairly well, because it works some of that inflammation in and out. And so when you have sciatic nerve pain, movement feels better. When you get some space, decrease or improving the space around the nerve, so it does move a little bit better. And the blood flow also improves that nerve health as well, and that nerve pain, because you're getting fresh blood, which doesn't have the inflammatory soup and junk sitting around it, to the nerve. So that's why when I base my rehab strategies around people who have nerve pain, sciatic nerve pain, it's based around those three things, which I covered in another video, which will be in the description. I highly recommend you look at it. So how does sciatica start? In your case, I don't know, you tell me, right? So you typically have a good idea of why your sciatica started, or how it started happening, or maybe you don't over time. What two individuals that I typically see: one, a younger individual that did something to have back pain and caused pain down their leg, or two, an older individual, not older, right? Age is just a number, but someone who has more changes in their lower back, which I covered in another video, which was over time, we know that the more changes and more arthritis happen everywhere in our body, the wrinkles on our skin, et cetera, it's very normal. Older individual that notices that when they're upright more, when they walk longer distances, they have pain down their leg. Those are two very similar forms of sciatica, just how you treat it is a little bit different, and which is actually surprising. And people are like, wow, that's why this treatment helped that person and this treatment helped me. We're similar, but we're different in very different ways. And so it's usually three different reasons: space, movement, blood flow. So you have some sort of space issue around the nerve, disc herniation, bony changes. We don't know until we take a good look at your physical exam. And then it's movement issues. So how you move, are you actually moving the nerve enough to decrease the sensitivity? And so we know that when we have a cut on our arm or something like that, anywhere in our body, the area around the cut becomes inflamed. It's red, it's sensitive, because your body wants to protect it. Well, you just don't see it, but the same thing's happening in your body as well. And so you want to try to work with some of that space, movement, blood flow issues in your favor. And that's why when I treat nerve pain, people are always walking, they're always doing some sort of gentle level of exercise until they have discomfort. It's okay moving into the discomfort. And then that's going to improve the space, movement, blood flow of the nerve. And so how you do it, how often you do it, well, that's all a little bit different, very person to person. But I have another video, which you can see the link in the description, that can help you start in the right area, at least go into that visit educated, right? You want to go in and have some sort of education around what's going on, speak the same language, and learn a little bit about it. And that's going to help that visit go smoother and faster. And so you can start off in the right direction. So we covered why you started having sciatica. We also covered how sciatica starts, spine movement, blood flow, et cetera, et cetera. So take a look, take this information, take it or you leave it. I found it useful, but if it makes sense, let me know. And so make sure you check out my other videos as well. Subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm saying and you like what I'm doing. I just want to give you the tools to make you better. And you can go into those visits more educated, stronger, and just so you can have a leg up. And so this stuff doesn't have to be a pain in the butt. And so, like I said, my name is Dr. Derry, owner of Revision Health Services down here in Jacksonville, Florida, and stay healthy and keep moving.